Hello, and welcome back to the next episode of the Safety Introduction Program Development from Team 675 Wildcat 5e. Today we're going to talk about this battery split kits. And so for battery split kit, first things first, we're going to talk about what's in it. So what you're going to need is a bucket to actually contain the materials, and a bucket is important because that is where the battery will be going in case of a spill, and once it is spilled, and once everything is cleaned up, you will put it back into a plastic bucket because will be non-reactive, and so nothing will seep out of it as well. And from that, you deliver it to usually a mechanic or whatever place will take it and properly dispose of it. So that's what the bucket is used for. Next thing is kit instructions. This is just very useful to have just in the bucket as well, just in case either another team needs to use yours or just somebody on your team forgets how to use it exactly. So you just also want that in your battery split kit as well. You want a pair of gloves that are proper, the gloves themselves will be resistant to acid. So that's the resistant gloves. And you can just look that up on any, the website you're buying your gloves from, and it'll tell you under product details usually what kind of gloves they are and if they're acid resistant or not. So you need to look up acid resistant gloves and buy those for your battery split kit, because if not, you can seriously damage your hands and your skin if you use gloves that the battery's acid is not resistant to. And then you're going to need full baking soda, like a full baking soda pack, to pour over the battery once it is spilled to neutralize the acid, which will go into a little bit more, not very much more detail, but a little more detail later. So you want a full thing of that, just in case it is a very large spill. And you need a lot to neutralize it. And then once that happens, you want cat litter to soak up the moisture that is there, so it's easier to clean up. And then once it is fully neutralized, want to use your paper towels to pick it all up and put it in your trash bag, and then that will then be put all the materials back into your safety bucket, which will then be properly disposed of. And then you also just want to make sure, again, you have your battery split kit inventory document, because this document details which battery split kits have what, so you can just keep an inventory of what you have and what ones you can use, and then just what ones still need more materials, such as our battery split kit 5 still needs another thing of full baking soda. This is some more just battery safety in general. You want to, when charging them, you want to keep the charging area clean, organized, in a dry environment. And you want to charge in a circulated area. Do not short out the battery terminals. Not charge faster than the manufacturer's maximum recommendation. And you also want to update a charging log just to make of your team, just make sure the battery has been charging for too long to cause any damage to the battery and possibly cause any damage or create a hazard because of the batteries overcharging. And then just another thing to note on the materials is that to gather them, you can possibly, for cat litter and baking soda, you can also get them from your team members. They might have some extra. If not, you can easily order them. You can order them or go to the store or buy them just for any of these, except for the kit of instructions, which you'll have to make yourself. And then for the next thing on spills, just this little bit of more instruction. When your battery spills, you should put on your gloves and move the battery to the bin area, and make sure the area is clear and all that. Make sure that nobody's around it except the people, and make sure that nobody's around it that's not aware of it, and make sure nobody's around it who's not actively dealing with the situation. And so that's why you want to move your bin to wherever the battery is, so it's a very close location. Then you want to pour your baking soda onto the spilled fluids on the inside of the battery, on the battery area, just to make sure that it neutralizes, because battery is an acid, baking soda is a base, and so that will be neutralize it, and also known as sodizing it. So once sodized, the acid will be in two non-caustic components, and then can be properly cleaned up and put in to your battery bucket safely and securely using all the proper cleanup using cat litter and paper towels and trash bag. And then for inspection, just periodically throughout the competition, you want to check for cracks and for leaks and for smell of sulfur of the battery acid. And then you want to just check after each round of competition because that's when your battery's going to be used, and you want to make sure it's not damaged. And then for if you do get exposed or something does get exposed to the battery acid, you want to flush the contacted area with a large quantity of water, and you want to seek medical treatment if at the event, and you want to go to the first aid station and call for help. And then you want to fill out the incident report log accordingly. And then for battery spill kit instructions, more specifically, then we're going to do a video of a demonstration, short demonstration of what a battery spill kit procedure looks like. Not using an actual battery, of course, but just a mock demonstration. So this is the battery spill kit instructions that will be in your bucket. You want to put on personal protective equipment, safety goggles, and PVC gloves, which the gloves that are resistant to battery acid. Pour the baking soda over the battery acid to neutralize the acid. Pour the cat litter over the area to dry it, and then after dry, use a dustpan and a small broom and paper towels to actually collect it, dry up, and then put it all in the trash bag to dispose of it properly, usually taking it to a mechanic. And then just some other information. You want to make sure at a competition you want to have at least 2 of them. The reason we have 5 is we give one away at each competition, and so you want to have at least 2 of them. One is at the pit area and where your other batteries will be, and the other one is going to be at your robot cart at the wherever your robot is, because that is also where a battery will be. And you want to make sure that is readily available in case something goes wrong. And so now on to our demonstration. Hello, this is Team 6.5, Wildcat 5e, and this is our battery spill kit demonstration. So of course you have to use a little bit of imagination. Can you imagine that this water bottle right here is the battery and it's spilling. So what do we do? Well, first I'm going to bring over the battery spill kit. I'm going to open it up, already pre-sealed open, and take out the battery spill kit instructions and look at them if I need to. Clear the area away of anybody who's not needed to make sure that they do not get hurt. And then I'm going to put on, first thing I'm going to put on the gloves inside the battery spill kit to deal with all the substances, and so I do not cause any damage to my hands. And then I'm going to take out the baking soda right here, and then I'm going to pour it all over. And I'm not, of course, I have to use imagination for this, so I'm going to pour it all over the battery. And then once that is done, put it over to the side. I'm going to take out cat litter to soak up any moisture. This of course will probably take more time for it to all neutralize the base and the acid. So this is just a quick demonstration of how it works. So I have the cat litter here. I would open it up and pour it all over. And when that is all done, it looks, once that is all done, it looks very dry. I will get out my paper towels and rip off a piece. And then just use the paper towels to clean up the area. Of course, we're going to have to use more than one. Then I'm going to also have a dustpan and brush to scoop up things. But the paper towels is also in conjunction with the cat litter to soak up any moisture. So once all that is done, I'm going to take out the trash bag, put the battery inside the trash bag, still with my gloves on, put it all inside the trash bag, put the battery inside the battery spill kit, and then put the bucket, put the seal over the bucket, and close it up, and then after that we'll dispose of it in a proper fashion by giving it to a mechanic or any other place that takes in batteries and will properly dispose of it. Thank you for watching the demonstration. Just want to say thank you again. This is from 6705, Team Wildcat 5e. Just want to thank our sponsors, GAPS Hospitality, AXA, Excel Insurance Reinsurance, Griffith Engineering, and Vision Metals. Thank you again for joining me. Have a nice day.